By the end of this video, you will be able to solve simultaneous equation using substitution. So let's start with our simultaneous equation. Here we have x add y equals 10. That is our first equation. Then we have x subtract y equals 2. That's our second equation. Now we need to make x the subject, meaning x is on one side of the equation by itself. And in order to do this, let's look on equation 2. The reverse of subtracting y is add y. So add y on both sides of the equation. So on the left hand side of the equation, we add y. And on the right hand side of the equation, we add y. Therefore, x equals 2 add y. Now we're going to call this equation equation 3. Now, because we got equation 3 from equation 2, we must substitute equation 3 into equation 1. So using equation 1, substitute 2 add y for x, meaning replace your x with 2 add y. So 2 add y, we just replace our 2 add y for x. Add y equals 10. And now we can simplify. So this is 2 and y add y is 2y equals 10. So let's solve this equation. So here we do the reverse of add 2, and the reverse of add 2 is subtract 2, and we subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. Now we have 2y equals 8. And remember, we always undo the last thing that was done, the last operation that was done to y in this case. And the last operation that was done was multiplying by 2. And the reverse of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. Therefore, we divide both sides of the equation by 2. So on the left hand side of the equation, we divide by 2, and on the right hand side of the equation, we divide by 2. Okay, stay with me. That means y is equal to 8 divided by 2, and that is 4. So y is equal to 4, and now it's time for us to find our x value. So we will use equation 3 to find our x value. So using equation 3, which is x equal, remember equation 3 is right here, x equal to add y, and using equation 3, we're going to substitute 4 for y, meaning replace y with 4. Okay, so x equals 2 add 4, and 2 add 4 is 6. This means y is equal to 4 and x is equal to 6. And we can always check our answer to see if they are correct. So let's check. So x is 6 and y is 4. If you go to this equation, if you replace your x with 6 and your y with 4, we will have 6 subtract 4, and 6 subtract 4 is 2. So this is proving that our answers are correct. Now let's try one that looks harder but uses the exact same step. So here we have 2x add y equals 11. Let's call this equation 1. Then we have x subtract y equals 1. Let's call this equation 2. Now we need to make x the subject of the equation 2, meaning x is on one side of the equation by itself. You could make y the subject, but always try to use the one that you're most comfortable with in terms of rearranging. So in this case, we're going to make x the subject, and we're using equation 2. So the last operation that was done to x is subtracting y. And the reverse of subtracting y is add y. So let's undo subtracting y by adding y on both sides of the equation. So on the left hand side of the equation, we add y. And on the right hand side of the equation, we add y. Now x equals 1 add y. And we will call this equation 3. Now we will replace x with 1 add y in equation 1. Remember, because we got equation 3 from equation 2, we have to substitute equation 3 into equation 1. So using equation 1, substitute 1 add y for x. So from equation 1, you're going to replace x with 1 add y. Also remember to use your brackets, and this is where students make a mistake. Use your brackets to show substitution. So bracket to show your substitution. So here we have 2 open bracket, and we're going to replace the x with 1 add y. So 2 open bracket, 1 add y, close bracket. Remember to add your y equals 11. Now we have to expand the bracket. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, and 2 multiplied by y is 2y. Then remember to add your y, and this equals 11. Now remember, 2y add y is 3y. So on the left hand side, we're left with 2 add 3y, and 2 add 3y equals 11. So let's solve this equation. Remember, we're undoing the last operation that was done to y. So here we have the last operation being add 2. So the reverse of add 2 is subtracting 2. So subtract 2 from both sides of the equation. So on the left hand side of the equation, we subtract 2. And on the right hand side of the equation, we subtract 2 as well. So now we have 3y equals 9. So here again, undo the last operation that was done to y. Here we have multiplying. We're multiplying by 3, and the reverse of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. We divide both sides of the equation by 3. Now we have y being equal to 3. Now we're going to replace y with 3 in equation 3. So let's write equation 3, and we're going to replace our y with 3. So using equation 3, we substitute 3 for y. So here we have our x equals 1, and remember that you should replace your y with 3. So add 3. So x equals 4, meaning that our answers are x equal 4 when y is equal to 3. And we can always check our answer. So when x is 4, y is 3, and 4 subtract 3 is 1. Therefore, our answer is correct. If this video helped, please like and subscribe and share. And stay tuned for our next video where we will use the elimination method, and this is a quicker method, especially when you're doing your GCSE exam.